Don't call it a comeback until we see at least 10 rounds of Premier
Yeah.
Inc. I think that would be my standard right now. That is the benchmark that Premier Inc. would need to be able to find.
And it's not one you want to give away. Showstopper, can he be 3 for 3? Not the case. 2v2. Resurrection's available.
Spriggles is the biggest
walking for
player
mid.
now. Spriggles can stop this all. He's in position to maybe even stop the res. That's how they can win.
Cal gets the res off, but Spriggles will find number 3 and number 4. Demon Time will be your champions. 13-7.
The Valorant Close Series, week 2 here for NA concluded now. Demon Time, they successfully complete the lower bracket run, something we've not really seen at all, I think, in the NA side of the Close Series. So we know it's possible, you know, be in a situation where they were match point for most of that second half as well. It required a monstrous defense to come through from Premier Inc. And unfortunately, it was going to buckle at some point.
And it felt like there were a couple of moments for Premier Inc. on their attack where they were looking a little bit frantic, maybe a touch frustrated.
Seeing great players coming on through. Very impressed with what we saw from Demon Time overall. And I'm just very interested to see how the competition evolves as we head into future weeks.
Pizza time.
Valorant Academy here with Team Liquid, of course, showcasing the North American Close Series here this evening with a losers finals best of 1 and a grand finals best of 3.
I believe 3 new teams to look at now for our low bracket final and our grand final.
Yeah, the winners finals was Tokyo versus TNT. That went 13-11, which Tokyo was able to take. But on the bottom side, Big Pizza was the squad to take down Demon Time. That squad that you had mentioned previously took the North American Series last. We had a chance, but it has not been without some contest. Big Pizza in their last 2 matchups have had to go into overtime, not once, but twice, 14-12 on their most recent matchups, both in the losers semis and the losers quarters before that. Going into our losers finals, though, again, a best of 1, they'll be playing up against TNT, who just took Tokyo the distance. So I think more importantly for Big Pizza, they've been in the losers bracket now for quite some time as they were knocked down after winners round 2, but obviously they've been fighting pretty hard throughout. They had a 13-10, a 13-7, and then, like I mentioned, the 2 14-12. So they've been tested all the way through the losers bracket run so far.
Yeah, and the losers bracket teams, by the way, haven't had the best track record in the close series of making it back through to actually get a win in the grand finals. The only team in recent memory that's actually done that is Demon Time. Here we are, straight into our best of 1 lower bracket final.
Very excited to see what both of our teams have to offer. Taking a look at the rosters, still defensively coming out for Big Pizza. Kel, Nedgy, Sean Nanners, and Toasty Unicorns. That paints an interesting picture, to say the least.
Kel was on Premier Inc., who is a team that we covered in our previous closed series. They were in the grand finals versus Demon Time. They didn't quite beat them, so that's going to be at least one familiar player. Sean as well, I believe he was on that same team. Nedgy. In fact, there's quite a few members on this this Big Pizza squad from Premier Inc.
TNT heavily stacked over towards the U-Haul. It's going to be up the core on the site itself to try to stay alive. Brilliant shot card for Sean. Bouncing around the corner. He finds one. A lot of damage onto the other. And no chance for TNT to protect this spike as they get absolutely blown apart off the Big Pizza retake. They try to play for a wall bang. I was waiting for the long peek of the patience. It is the virtuous net finds 2. The boombox gives so much more value once it's playing from the left-hand side. Hot hands to try to zone. Core able to find 1. I don't know how Nanners isn't taking damage, and they're going to trust with the hot hands. Zones it away. Nanners for 3. There's a 4th around the corner. Why not give it to him? Have it all. Oh, how about this? A little bit of a defensive change. If Big Pizza are going to get aggressive, they'll find first blood. Maybe it just has. His effect will make his way on, but Sean's still existing in the backside cubby. We'll find a big pick. The smoke will be down through him to help him stay alive. Recon dart in. Sean will find his 3rd. Not able to get the reload off in time for Cryo Cells, who will exist on the site for now, but does not expect Toasty Unicorns to. How about this angle from Ned? Catches his shoulder right on the outside of the sky smoke. You can even see Toasty Unicorns backing up saying, nice shot there, friend. Way too early, you feel TNT in a tough position, and I mean, okay, Ned's patience is too strong. Exactly the case. Sean will be flashing for a moment. A lot of damage secured, and Sean will get the benefit of an absolute lineup. Oh my goodness. Is it so hell? First ball that comes into play. Nanners for 1. Instantly dismisses while Cal watches his back. He'll find another pick. Looking to put the gas down to the floor as SGL will also use the run it back, but Doesn't really find anything with it. He's the last one here defensively. He gets taken down.
2 versus 3. Post plant looks pretty decent. See how this is tested though. Sean gets killed to Kenny K.
Go for it and lose. Everyone on your team is going to be essentially dealing with whatever they can money-wise, and Sean will get the kill credit by way of Shock Dart. One Bulldog, one Sheriff. So you're trying to upgrade that Sheriff to an AR, and how about this? You thought for a second. Trial cells going to get the job done. But Nanners is trying to pick onto the operator. You're going to have to find another one tap if your core not able to do it. Nanners puts things to bed, and Big Pizza gets delivered here. Nanners up top with 26 total kills. What do you think are the biggest, maybe pros or maybe even cons for this Big Pizza squad as they go into that grand finals?
Well, I think the Rainer definitely worked out for them. If Nanners didn't frag the way that he did, it could have been a very awful pick. I mean, it did feel like Big Pizza overall kind of outskilled TNT on multiple regards. Remember that there was a 7-round win streak on that initial half.
We've got ourselves a grand finals coming up here, Kev. It's going to be hopefully a good one, as we just saw Big Pizza shred through the losers finals best of 1 on Bind. We'll be swapping the format over to a best of 3, and we'll be changing the opponent. It's going to be Tokyo from the winners bracket, looking to square up and see if they can take down Big Pizza.
Just to give a bit of context as well, Big Pizza have mostly the core of Premier Inked, who were our runner-ups from the previous closed series. Time now for Big Pizza, the 3 members from Premier Inked, to maybe finally get that victory.
There's one more small aside as we load into Haven. Map 2 will be Bind, and if we need the 3rd map, it'll be Ascent. Big Pizza on their attack. Still Ned G, Cal, Nanners, Sean, and Toasty Unicorns. Nanners will be trusted to keep blocking down things on the Reyna, but Ned G, like we kind of maybe assumed, would be swapping from Raze over to the Jet. Rec now wants to get aggressive. Was information mutually given Toasty Unicorns? Yes, it was. And Toasty Unicorns holding the angle will be rewarded with a headshot. Renz, operator in hand. Looking for a shoulder. He might just get rewarded one, as it's Ned who's right around the corner. Sky Smoke comes down. Clear also in the mix. Blind shot not going to hit. The hot hands will get through, but Renz will lose his life as Ned will find opening first blood. Rare on another part of the map has found one pick. Card trying to come through C Garage. Also taken down, and immediately as soon as those kills come out, the Spike trying to rotate over to C, and as Ned finds the kill onto the sole defender of Tekka, this is a 4v1 in which Big Pizza will surely get the plant down and likely take the round away as well. Still have an opening opportunity to make its way through a short, plus you've got 2 members hitting through long. So for Big Pizza, can you kill enough time here? Fear comes out, instant headshot for Kale as he finds 2, but Rex with the phantom from the opening trade will find 3 to clean things up.
I'll tell you what, Alan, Big Pizza's defensive half needs to be phenomenal to come back from this. It is 10-1. Big Pizza will use that opportunity to maybe make their way through Garage. He will find nobody here for now. Renz is not home, but he is creeping up, and the timing could be awful for Ned. Renz decides to swing.
Or it could be incredible as well. Renz doesn't see any of the information, and he does find Card. Only member here that was there defensively in the site for Tokyo. Slow Orb comes out. Will land right in the money alley, right behind the defense's one orbital strike. Will stop the plant for now, but plenty of time on the clock for them to wait this out, and then let him come down. Tekka trying to make his way through C Garage, won't find anything. And as the resurrection comes out, we're looking at a 3v5 retake scenario for Tokyo.
And no more ultimates to play with either. Unfortunately, Card, he had the Empress, but he's gone down. The rest of the ultimates, the Big Pizza banking up will be used, and Ned is going to get another kill. This is a round that surely goes away for Big Pizza, and indeed it does.
Up and over goes the recon dart. Does it land is the question. It will, but it immediately gets destroyed, so no information gained, and as soon as that comes out, here comes the full flood. Nanners for 1, able to get the second. Bolt headshot, still has an orb to play with. Nanners for 3, just misses away. Nothing coming up in favor so far of Tokyo. They will try to stick the spike. Here comes the peak from the Sova. Sean for 1, Nanners though for 4. All of them right into the foreheads of the side of Tokyo for a very cool first defensive round.
10-3. Look, it's going to be a tough journey, but they are gaining momentum. That's the biggest thing for Big Pizza. They need momentum. They'll be crossing over into short right now, and Ned does not know what's coming. They'll have to force at least one rotator over to help him out.
The good news is he does find one blind peak, so that's going to be good, at least for Big Pizza. The rotation, not going to be fully committed to, but you've got your Brimstone very close for a rotate, and here comes the hit. Ned, can you hit more? Sean's going to be there. The ghost comes down. Ned able to find one more, and the quick swap. Sean has to go to the reload. Nearly cleans it all up himself. But now all the members of Big Pizza start to swarm, and Tekka's forced away. Still a lot of time to play with, but the problem is it's a 1v4, and you've only got 40 HP.
A lot of footsteps being made. Sean will swing on through, and that will be an easy tap to the face. Cleaned up that. See what Toasty Unicorns can do. He's been, unfortunately, smoked out, but the incendiary placement is going to be very acceptable here. Very perfect, actually. If you want to break past someone, you should just wall past, I think. So they waited a decent amount for it. Gets one nice tap from the reg with 10 HP. The plant will come through.
And the healing orb will just immediately be used. So now it comes down to, can you find an entry kill? They do get one, but from the opposite side, Ren's going to lock things down. Going to be forced while revealed to find another. Will not be able to do it. 3v4. Numbers for the defense on the retake. Big Pizza have already worked their way into the site. Let's pick up the card to see what they can do. The barrier orb is still up for the most part, but there is also an incendiary down. Ned will find the trade on the card. And as the spike starts to be diffused, Rare will find one just spamming through the smoke. One more outside has the challenge. It's Sean and Ned who combine for 2 kills. Plenty of time for the defuse. Big Pizza putting together a solid defense thus far in the second half.
Yeah, Pizza now in a lot of trouble here. That was a big play on the flank as well. Now you just have to try and push through versus 5. Up against 2 ultimates as well. Ned can get an opening pick on the off thread and needs to see somebody. That's what we're looking for. And Alan, is it possible?
Takes nearly through. Rare gonna hold his position, holds the trigger as well, but Toasty Unicorns will find 3. We'll have just enough time as the incendiary fades away to secure the defuse. The retake will be successful, but another tight moment in which you thought for a second Tokyo was going to sneak another way around. Card finds first blood. Tekka secures a second in the middle of the map, and now the C site is wide open for the taking, in which for the retake, you're going to be looking at mostly Toasty Unicorns on the flank to make something happen, but he's not able to get there to save his teammate in Nanners, and now a 2v4 situation. The Empress is popped, and Tokyo in a great spot to lock things down. Orbital Strike will be used. Toasty Unicorns gets gifted 1 kill, but that will be that. Too many numbers, too good of a position. Tokyo secure things 13-6. So far, Tokyo starting off nicely, the 13-6 for Haven. It's going to be bind up for map number 2. Big Pizza will be on the defense first, and we're not going to have the jet. It's going to be Ned G back onto the Rays, and he was an absolute monster to play up against in the losers finals. Him and Nanners alike had great opening halves on the defense to start things off, and then past that, Sean started to really make an impact on the offense. So we'll see if that continues to be the case here for Big Pizza, and they find a way to start things off on the right foot here on Bind.
Really nice balanced composition for Tokyo here as well. They got everything that you want here. Rare is going to be on back the Brimstone, which is well played by him. It is going to be the Razors coming through. As
Anner's going to be responsible for the long side at B with Cal. A double hit defensively. Curveball comes out. Anners will not be affected by it. Cal with first blood. It's going to slow things down considerably. Reckless there for the trade. Will they know that Anners is here in the corner? Anners! How many times is he going to find doubles and triples in cheeky positions? This time through, it's good enough to hold off Tokyo's push completely. The paint shells come through, the boombot comes out as well. Rare are going to just move right on forward, try to stick this plant in. The incendiary will not connect as Toasty Unicorns will find first blood. 4v5 in favor of Big Pizza's defense on this retake. But Tokyo does have a resurrection. Going to be probably a little bit hard-pressed to find use out of it, though, as you can see how split up this post plan is. Sean going to scout things out. We'll find good information on at least one member. Toasty Unicorns throwing out a smoke to try to keep the lamps contested. A very early post-plant incendiary is actually not going to connect with the spike. And as Rare only finds 1, that's going to be enough for Big Pizza to have the numbers to get in. And, man, it's just a little bit of a missed position on that incendiary. If it hits fully flush with the spike, maybe you have a chance to hold off. But
3-2, acceptable scoreline to start things out with, is at least much closer than what we saw in the Haven. You know, by this time, Big Pizza were trailing behind by quite a few rounds. I think it was like 5-1 at one stage. Ned, yeah, there are plenty of players for him to take down. He'll need to try and escape this position, though. Might get trapped in here. That's a bit of assistance from the teammate. Maybe keep assistance.
Big commitment. His friend is going to come forward. A double flash point out, and Toasty Unicorns will get the benefit of holding down the trigger, but ooh. A dicey moment in the showers. Tries to go for the ADS, but Rare will find his counterpart Brim. Now it will be an A take, because those were the only members that were here for Big Pizza defensively. Wreck will get this spike down. Actually, no, he will not. The Hunter's Fury will come through right in the nick of time to push them away. Trying to trigger and channel this for as long as possible. We'll stall down the spike plant once more, but Big Pizza still looking to retake, and this gets the Tekka first. He'll find 1. Deals with the Aldrum, goes for the long peak, and Cal will put him in his place. Now 2v2.
the situation.
Revealing area.
Big Pizza want to take a little bit of time just to make sure they can clear the angles properly. Find the 2v1s, that's the name of the game here. First target coming right through towards their right, and Rick is going to trade for one. Resurrection will maintain numbers here, and this is how they can still win it. Rare has to do the deed. 2 kills is what he needs. The wall comes through beautifully, and now he's going to break it.
Problem is, he does not have an incendiary. He's going to have to find a way, and Sean going for the body block. Cal gets to halfway. There to help if needed, but the assistance is not required this time around. Beautiful retake from Big Pizza, and they will knot us up at 3 rounds apiece.
Tokyo's going to come on through towards Hookah, where 2 players will be waiting.
Blinds no stopper. Does not look to have connected for much, if anything at all. Nanners is still fully healthy and not taking any damage, I believe, was Cal. And how many times has Nanners going to find free value here in that 50-50 peak? This time, not as much as before, although he will peek from the hookah window, find another kill. It goes into a dismiss. That's going to help an opportunity for Sean to work their way in for 2. The orbital strike zone and things off. Sean for 3 has to go to the reload, and it's just down to our Phoenix player, Red, who will only be able to take down Toasty Unicorn. Sean for 4 in the round as Big Pizza holds. Toasty Unicorns here, though, defensively, has a Sky Smoke of their own. And the boom bot will come through. Spike not fully being committed for a plant yet. Now the barrier orb goes down, and this will be the trigger to try to get this Spike down. And they do so cleanly. All 5 members still alive. Nedgy able to find 1 kick with the Page Shells. But it's going to be down to the retake effort still, and Toasty Unicorns will clear up showers.
Ned as well gets the kill on the card, so this is going to be quite difficult now. Rare only has 10 HP himself. They don't have guns to work with just yet. Renz would love to pop off. We've seen him when he did previously, but he's going to get a gun to do so. He just peeks into Ned, and Ned is nothing to really show for it this time around. Tokyo, you'll give him a plant, you'll give him 2 kills. You say it's a reasonably successful eco round coming through, but they're not going to take the round, and that's the big one, unfortunately, that they're not going to be able to claim. We'll see how far they get.
That the spirits of Big Pizza are still pretty high, though, having a little bit of fun with the post-round sprays.
Come on, let's go!
Patience waiting up the slow orb, but now we're going to go in. Nanas, he has to stop this one. Opening flash is going to force him to turn around, and we're going to give this one up. Tokyo have TP'd all the way into showers, and the big rotations coming on, and I say big, but it's just Sean so far. They want to make sure it's not a double back. We'll find out the bad news pretty shortly. My goodness, Toasty Unicorns is found one through the smoke. That's all he finds.
Oh, but Ned, again, just kind of throwing out a showstopper. Not going to connect. He tried to toss it to the front door of the bathroom entrance, and nothing going to come through. The spike gets down. Empress pop for Nanners. 3v3. No other ultimates available. Cyber Cage triggered to block off any entrance information towards lamps. And Nanners has found absolutely no value yet, but just spams the corner which Renz was hiding in. So there's the first kill. Empress reset just a touch. Spike will be channeled. You have to challenge it. Information off the sound cue will give away Tekken's position, and a very clean 3v3 retake for Big Pizza to find their 6th round. And again, going for the early peak fast, because the Unicorn's big roll to fill and can't lock down the spray for more than just the one. But Ned, he absolutely does more than he needed to as he finds 2 quick scopes. The spike will go down, but there's numbers for Big Pizza, and Nanners is already on the long flank.
Cage triggered.
The double entry here could be very effective. The problem is there is some isolation. It can be really rough. Rick is super far up. He's going to be able to use all of his U to slow down those 2 members. However, Sean can still go into heaven and will do so now. The triple entry. Nanas has to get this first kill. Get Tekken. It would be brilliant from him, and now I think they'll be able to do this. Rick surely can't win a 1v3.
Finds the one. Individual information almost gets the snap to Nanners, who I would say fortunately gets the kill as quickly as he did because the time was becoming an issue for the defusal. And for Tokyo, a bit of a tough spot here economically. Have to buy whatever they can. We're going to get an opening showstopper from card 10. Oh! Hell puts him down. There's the 2nd. All of this from the long side of B. Number 3, peeking just a touch, but it's a slow one being played. You still have a retake coming through elbow as well. Rare will find 1. Ruck able to get off the resurrection. So is Cal, and it's Nanners. They're able to find through Hookah, but all said and done, this is still doable for Tokyo if they can find 1 more string of kills, but it does not happen as Toasty Unicorns and Nedgy will clean things up. Big Pizza will exit the first half with an 8-4 tally. Who will use the healing orb early this round. Now up to Rare. Tough trouble for him as the in the area. Will we see better ones of those? Renz is tough spot. He does find one, does find two. Rare here to help for a third. Still doable. 3v2 situation, tries to spam through, goes to the ghost. Tekka there for the trade, but it's costly. 1v1. Sean Sheriff able to hit the headshot. Thrifty round for Big Pizza. Big Pizza can use the Aldrone to scout, then you feel like there will be a commitment to make their way on into paint shells. Right over towards the quad box. Good shots with the slow orb. Clear actually confirmed. Showstopper won't find value, but at least clears off the entrance towards lamps, and the spike should surely be flooded behind it. But Card maybe has other designs in mind as he goes up top, but isn't able to pull the trigger. Tail responds nicely. Sean now to plant the spike just to make a time. Renz
You will
left now
not kill
with
my
Red.
ally.
It was a 2v3, but the resurrection is allowed to get off. The shock dart will not connect. We've got a 3v3.
Nowhere to run!
And here comes the Hunter's Fury as well. You need to start seeing some moves being made here for the defuse. To get these kills, it's only a 1-for-1 for now, and the reload does not work out well for Toasty Unicorn's Wreck. He's got one more partner to play with. Sean, though, can the timing work out for him? So currently he's unknown. That should be one kill. The trigger discipline. Get the first kill for the defuser. The second swings around for Wreck to confirm it. Sean, what a hero. 2 rounds in a row. He's the last player alive, and he's the only player required for Big Pizza to still get the win. Does look like the eco as well. And they really need to put on a few more rounds to feel comfortable because Tokyo are catching up.
Other cars ready for the spy, can't find value. Tekka and Rack holding the corner, but the trades are not bad at all for Big Pizza. They're going to upgrade some of these pistols into SMGs and ARs. Tekka still alive though on the A site. Toasty Unicorns with the spike will make the call saying let's make our way through the teleporter over to B. Sky Smoke will be placed right at their feet essentially. And that'll be enough for them to make their way on for what will surely be a spike plant. The Empress pop for Nanners as they try to close out this 3v3.
When I say run it back, I mean in the more, I guess, other use of the term, which is to say they're doing the same thing they did the last round. Let's see if they can do it better this time, though. No aggressive ego peaks going towards the, I guess, defensive spawn side of things. And Hannah's has gotten 3 kills this time. They doubled up into elbow successfully. 2 players are on site. The Empress should be very effective. But Renz, how does he find that shot? That was beautiful from him. And the 2v2 is now possible, Alan. We're going to fake defuse, try and bait out some players. Toasty Unicorns is going to find the crucial pickup. And then Sean swings out for the headshot as well. 11-8 the scoreline, so you can make up for some past failures here by really stopping this push coming in. He goes down first.
I'm not really sure about the decision for Renz to beat. You saw that he was backing away, trying to deny information from the Aldrone, and as Big Pizza make their way onto the site, they find 2 picks. Wreck, Liberty, and Duka will find nothing and no chance for Card. Big Pizza on map point.
At this rate, I think Tokyo should gamble one more player from A over towards B because it's been a lot of B. Rick thinks about it.
Big first pick. The Lear not going to find use as Sean finds the opening 2. Orbital Strike will take down Rare pretty convincingly. It'll be Nanners looking to get the job done. Card. How top off can you go with this Sheriff? Hunter's Fury comes out for Sean, trying to clear angles on the backside of the site. Tekka will be caught with the knife out, and this will surely be the 13th round of Big Pizza. And there it is. Nedg close things out.
Big plays from Big Pizza to be able to come on through. 22-10 for Sean here. Well done by him. And 6 opening first blood kills for Nedg. That is the kind of stat line you want to see for someone on Big Pizza to bring them through for a equalizer to get to map 3.
And here's the other kind of bit of historical facts. The last time that we saw Big Pizza on Bind, your top 3 fraggers were Sean, Nanners, and Nedg. In that order, it happens to be that way once again on this second offer of which we've seen them play. Going to be map number 3, Ascent, for the grand finals of the North American Closed Series Week 3 here with the Team Liquid Valorant Academy. It'll be Big Pizza opting for the offense here for our first half.
So the big thing to talk about here is actually the introduction of the Cypher for Big Pizza. Cal is going to play the Cypher instead of the Sage.
The full push coming to the middle of the map. Sky Smoke's providing line of sight break, and it's going to be a full surround out. Recon dart now being channeled. Renz up close and personal. He's going to not find the first. Gets good help from Tekka, who keeps their life outside the alley, but that'll be all they get as there will be a take of the spike site here for Big Pizza. But the retake is going to come through the defensive side and spawn as all 3 members work their way in.
Yeah, they're going to just rush this if possible. They're trying to single out a couple of members. It's 2 back site. That's kind of really what you want to take down if you can find the angles. They have a little bit of Utah left to go. You've got 2 smokes here, Ray. You can probably just smoke out the backside if you want. And at this stage in the game, Alan, they're just dropping members like flies. Red can't really find too much. It's a one-shot on Bananas, but can't... Oh, okay. I'm going to give him a little bit more credit here, Alan. I'm just going to count him out. He gets a couple more than I expected.
Big Pizza as they look to take their first attempt over on this second offense towards the A site.
Yeah, that's far more normal here. Just 4 upgraded guns. We'll see if Rick can get anything done. He's not been checked over towards 1. He's coming late. Try and find the last player here. Red to try and slow things down. This is when we get the flank through from Rick, and just a 1 kill on the Toasty Unicorns before Cal cleans him up. Not a bad start here for Tokyo, but unfortunately, just 1 kill with 2 alive. You don't expect too much from the eco. What you just want to see is some kills, and the shorties not going to do too much here.
Well, especially a shorty on the Cypher, maybe on the Jet, you can tailwind into the action and find some value, but looks like Nanners is going to want to check this, and Tekka will get some information off of the footsteps. Takes the wide peek. Nanners able to put him down. 2 rounds earlier for Big Pizza, only dropping 1 member. A good start for this attack for Big Pizza. Another bit of a split buy situation here. You saw Bulldog still in the hands of a couple of members. As Nanners making sure to keep an eye on mid-market as they wrap over through the A catwalk. Card, I believe, has heard a lot of information. Pull back away. Nice incendiary placement to split the offense into 2 pieces. Reckless and versatile. The 50-50 has been guessed. The neural threat immediately out as soon as the kill comes through. And this will surely dig Big Pizza sticking to plan and having a ton of information for how they want to set up for the post-plant situation.
And a lot more likely, by the way, for a defensive eco to be playing aggressively. That's why you got to check those angles once more. Card would love to swing through for a nice, tasty headshot. Would like to also have his teammates in position to swing with him when the lair does come through. Don't really believe that Tekka gets too much done over on his side. He's being watched, but I lie. He gets a kill to Sean. How has he managed to get 2 kills? This actually might be enough now. 1 versus 1, and Nanners will win it.
And you also have the incendiary that's blocking off the spike. Nanners does a good job of just existing in hell.
We've seen Nanners be a force to be reckoned with. B is going to be open now. Typically, there's only going to be 1 anchor there with 1 person playing mid. And the Cypher is going to be the anchor. At this stage, you have to trust that you've opened up the site. Start moving a little bit quicker. Look at the Jet player, Renz. He's actually not even close, so you're going to get a free plant.
Free site completely. And the question in my mind for a Big Pizza is, do you zone off this site more aggressively because of it? It looks like the answer will be yes. Nanners is still a bit self-conscious, thinking there's no way we just got this site for free. They have. Spike will be planted. Now it just comes down to how do you retake this with a severe weapon disadvantage for Tokyo. As Rare will check both corners. He's gotten a nice job done to get through the doors, but he won't find much beyond that as Sean finds his 3rd kill. And now for Red, you just don't want to feed the ace, and Sean gets another lineup as he finds number 4, number 5.
When the spike's about to explode, it can be quite difficult to get off-site. So if you're playing pistol eco versus that, one of the normal plays is to just make sure everyone dies to spike explosion. Big aggressive defense around though. Everybody's walked up and can't dismiss away.
And this is one of those looks that, again, for Tokyo, you just have so much good utility to hold off this choke point right in front of B, but they keep continuing to push forward, and Rek honestly takes more damage than he should have. He'll still use the healing or regardless to get it back to full, but that's just an opening trade that you really feel like you shouldn't be giving away, as Sean will find a brilliant connection for a kill plus intel on the Sage player back over at B. Again, no healing orb available, so with numbers now, Big Pizza looks to commit over to A, and they should get there unless Tekka can find some good information and damage through the cyber cage. He'll find nothing. The resurrection will come up, but the spike will be planted here at B.
Will be, I was going to say a full member retake here, but they do lose 1 very quickly here. That orbital strike would have been very useful. Could be a possible round for an Empress if they don't feel confident about it. I think it may be the case because there's 2 low members here. Do they check the right angle? They do not. I'd at least be able to get that trade through. This is when the Empress is going to get used, but Sean from behind. Oh my goodness, a heartbreaking situation. And Renz is not going to have much more to do either. Big Pizza, 2 alive, and Sean once more is the big frag. Tokyo, who are trailing behind quite heavily. I mean, we looked at Bind. Bind was a lot closer at this stage. I believe we were looking at 2 and 3 by 5 rounds, and now the fact that Big Pizza get another opening kill.
Oh, big info.
Through with the dismiss. Unfortunately, it's caught though. It's not a bad counterfrag from Tekka.
Cage triggered.
get the trade, and that's the last bit of defensive pressure here in A. So spike will be planted. You hold numbers advantage. You have an orbital strike and a showstopper to make sure that the post plant stays secure. And you're still, again, like you had mentioned at the top of this round, not dealing with a fully fledged out Tokyo arsenal. Ren's trying to come through, wreck up top, looking for a pinch. Good information, a couple of good shots will connect. Not enough for the kill. Dead takes down Rex 2 friends. And from here on out, you probably look to just save the Spectre or upgrade it if you can.
Card disconnected, I believe. Not ideal.
Esports, and at least in my mind, that's been kind of the big difference maker when it comes to Tokyo. They're used to getting these aggressive first bloods, but Ascent is not a map that is all that forgiving of those aggressive plays.
Not super aggressive this time, despite the fact that Carter is actually walking forward. He'll check the early information. That's actually good for his team because he'll know that nothing's over towards A main, and Renz nearly hits a couple of nice shots on the Blade Storm, but won't quite pick up the kill.
Gets it down to half HP, which will likely just be tracked back to get healed up. At least you would think so. Maybe not, actually. Big Pizza still committing card on the long play. Is he going to find the headshot from behind? No Cal response. Showstopper not out. Ned tries to move forward, but Rek holds the corner, and the trade is there. So Toasty Unicorns able to work his way over to the B site. There will be at least one pickup on the backside for Tekka. Rare still holding on to an orbital strike, is just going to be blindly guessing. He's put down in a position where Nanners can still be allowed to get the spike planted. 2v2. You have a offensive orbital strike to use to secure this if you get the opportunity. It's just going to come down to Tekka getting, can he get here to help out Rare for this retake?
But does he have a gun? That's the bigger question. If Tekka's only on a pistol, he can't really do any. And he doesn't have a gun at all. That's unfortunate. So they'll have to play together. Maybe just hand me down the weapon off the back of Rare. If he fails to get the job done, there is a player behind him. And I do believe this is going to go the way of Nanas. I even thought Toasty Unicorn was going to get that kill.
The aggressive defense finally comes to fruition for Tokyo. They find themselves in a 5v3 situation.
And I feel like Big Pizza knew this was coming. They felt like they did this way too many times. They put a player there, Ned, just camping through, taking the contact with no second player. No second player to back him up. Now they have to retrieve the spike versus a lot of players for Tokyo. It's a 3 versus 5. I would maybe think about committing the orbital strike here if you're really trying to pick up this round. Big Pizza, they want as much of the lead as possible, but I think Tokyo have a great shot at now coming back.
Yeah, this would be the time to hit that orbital strike, try to clear off Gelato, and it looks like Toast Unicorn is holding it. There it goes. It's going to clear some players up. Sean converted the kill. Wait a second. No, it's Tekka who's able to just sidestep it just a touch, so the ult is not quite connecting where you wanted it to. Renz will tailwind away as he missed his operator shot, but 27 seconds, the spike has been picked up, and it's immediately made its way over to A. Toasty Unicorns, he should find at least one for free. The second one at a distance, he'll find the headshot there, and what was surely going to be around for Tokyo has all of a sudden dissolved, as it's just down to Renz and Tekka for a 2v3 retake.
Yeah, not a lot of HP here for Sean either. 2v3 might actually end up being a 2v2 pretty soon. Toasty Unicorns confirmed, but Nanas gets the refrag required. This is going to be tough now. Renz is not even looking in the right direction. Nanas from the back of the head is going to put one more on the board.
So now we go into the 10th round of the half. It's a full 5-man stack for Big Pizza through B main, of which they're allowed to navigate for the first time in a while. Rek will throw down a slowing orb and then be trusted to walk through the back sidewalk. He'll find one on the Ned. Ren's not there to help out. Rek can't get the job done on a solo mission, and that will be the take, the neural step, and the spike down for Big Pizza.
And this was a force buy as well. 3 players actually got the purchase on the rifle, 2 players saved on pistols. So strange from Tokyo, and at this stage in the game, Tokyo don't have the HP, they don't have the personnel, they don't really have a lot to work with at all. Rare will get the 1 kill, but they need a lot more than that. Card for a second, Card with 0 HP. Now it's going to be another round going to Big Pizza, 9-1 now.
Big Pizza looking good. They've got a lot of money to spend to close out this half. Hopefully for them, it's 12-1 or 11-1 fashion. Tasty Unicorns first blood, and once again, it's this aggressive defense that comes out absolutely empty. Now it's going to be just on the Tekka and Renz, who, reminder, is using the operator. They're going to have to find a way to miraculously clutch up, and well, this round is over, absolutely. 10th round comes through. It's
the last round, so it anyway, that's pretty standard. Valorant playing for a short, reasonably successful Card will be able to get out.
Another big Hunter's Fury tagging a number of members from Tokyo. 44 Empress is still in play for Tokyo. This is actually going to be Card making his play through A catwalk. Not going to see anything there, so we'll back up to help out towards the front door of the A site. But Toasty Unicorn, again, is lurking in the middle of the map. And will be able to give the information to his squad mates that a rotation back over to B should be relatively safe. Another aggressive push through here, though, as Tokyo wants to make their move. Sean is going to read this and... what is this from Tokyo? Why? Why are you... What in the world?
I mean, the tracking dart was there. I don't know what Carter was expecting. Was he just, I don't know, ego peeking, ego swinging that one, thinking, I'll just win this one off the back of aim. Renz will at least connect the headshot at long range. The Sheriff isn't going to land you an instant kill. 2 members available now. I do expect the res to come through from Rick again last round, so you got to make everything count now. Sean is reasonably low. If they can get him down early, that will give them a bit of an advantage. Rick checks the corner, finds the kill to terrorist the Unicorns. Should be a gun upgrade and also the Resurrection.
Still sticking to the Spectre for now, and well, Ned will find one, gets the information off the shoulder peek for where Rare is positioned, and Cal will deal with him, no problem. 11-1, and that should be enough for a take. Toasty Unicorn, big role to fill here as he doesn't quite get the connections he wanted through the smoke, but does take down 2, and for a second I thought he was going to collide a 3rd, if not maybe even 4th. I mean, again, we'll talk about here in a second as you feel like there's really no chance that Big Pizza win this round. Although, now they deal with the spike carrier. Full HP still at Nanners. The right click will not connect for the second. Sean holding the backside arches with the shorty. Walks right on up, deals with 1. Couldn't get the reload off. Opportunity, reads the up, grabs Sean for 2, and clearly had an opportunity to make that interesting.
Unbelievable, by the way, that Sean actually gets 2 kills there. Was no one looking? They didn't clear backside. No one actually checked back sights. That's a little sloppy from Tokyo. Shock dart doesn't quite connect with anyone rather either, so not ideal from him. Sean up for potentially a bunch of kills here. Finds the first one, a few more coming his way.
Yeah, I love this play. Sean gets the 1 pick, immediately backs up to the backside of the site, trying to gain some space, and some time for his teammates to rotate, but he doesn't need any teammates. He finds 3. Rare will finally put Sean down, which is no easy feat apparently. But now Tekka's in a terrible position. He'll be dealt with, and that is the reason right there why I love seeing passive defenses over to B. You get the information, you get 1 pick, you don't over-challenge, and because he keeps his life, Tokyo has to deal with them, and all of that space that they have to check needs to time for the rest of the defense to get there. But again, like I mentioned, Sean doesn't need the help apparently as he took away 3.
That was a ridiculous last 2 kills coming through over the boxes as well. Very difficult shots to connect, barely even sees their head. And now, match point for Big Pizza. This is a comeback. Remember, they came in with a deficit. They had to win buying to even get to a map 3. Now they're looking like they're going to just storm over Ascent. Final opportunity. Tokyo, what can you do?
Ren's on the way. He has to find value with this. Nanners up close and personal. Full kit available. Gets checked and right click though. Could be bad, and there it is. Ned will find the opening first blood. So just a 1-for-1 trade. Ned with the second, looking to work on a 3rd. He'll find it, and right as soon as he found the 3rd kill, Cal would find the 4th. Sean appropriately so cleans everything up. Cherry on top. 13-3. Big Pizza, your closed series North American Week 3 champs.
There it is, the core of Premier 8 from a month ago who had their best of 3 grand finals taken away from them will now be the victors, thankfully so as well, because, look, that was a long journey from them. You don't always see teams from the lower bracket come through big time. It was a very difficult run as well. That opening map onto Haven, super one-sided. Tokyo absolutely washed Big Pizza. Bind, super back and forth, and then Ascent. It was all Big Pizza. They took control. This was their map, and they ended up with a W.
Massive congratulations as Big Pizza looked absolutely menacing on the Ascent. An impressive display for both of our squads. And again, even more props, I would say, to Big Pizza for the journey they put together here today.
Crazy how the progression comes through, where it feels like they came to the grand finals so slow, so quiet, but so loud, coming out with a bang to collect the victory. And what a team, what a performance as well.
I would say out of all the close series strips that we've had, Admiral, there are the biggest pop-off moments in this one, I think, kind of looking back at it. A lot of incredible, impressive displays from really just about everybody in both lobbies that we had.
Massive display of talent coming through from Sean. He was a rock for the team.
Absolutely
solid
insane
performance across all 3 maps, even when they were losing. I think if there's going to be an MVP for me for the entire series, it has to be Sean.
Hard agree with that, 100%. Every single map we saw, he definitely put on display.